Young Guo was in alert position. He came face to face with old monster. Today, he must defeat old monster, or else he would lose possession of Xiao Long Ni, the little dragon lady. This was one of the stories that my grandfather told me when I was very young. Grandfather Tang Guan was a taxi driver. Prior to this, he was a lorry driver. The people in my neighborhood, for a fact, liked Grandpa very much, for he was a kind, affable, and benign person. However, Grandpa did have his own weaknesses. For example, he indulged in gambling, leaving a pile of debts to clear, and he was a chain smoker, which was to cost him his life. I vividly remember, rain or shine, Grandpa would come and fetch me home from my primary school. Then he would always be there for me, and that's why I treasure Grandpa very much. Whenever I heard the hooting sound of the taxi, I beamed with joy because I would look forward to meeting Grandpa in the school. Grandpa, that's his Pa Ong Chia. In those days, it's called the private taxi, the Pa Ong Chia, right? And my schoolmate, also my neighbor, So Cat Bing, would sit in the back of the car with me, all right? And then Grandpa would still tell stories about his personal encounters with his passengers. In his leisure time, Grandpa loved to listen to the stories by the late Ong To via Rediffusion, the famous Ong To. And after listening to Ong To, he would tell us and spin enchanting stories of the princesses, the heroes, and the heroines. It was really one of the happiest memories of my life growing up with Grandpa, listening to those stories. Perhaps that would have a pronounced effect on my love for reading, writing, and now telling stories to you. Then when in his free time, Grandfather would tell me stories, like I said just now. One of the stories was a story of the Moon Lady. Once upon a time, in the world, there were 10 suns, making the world a very, very unbearable place to live in. As a result of the 10 suns, many people also perished. A brave man by the name of Ho Yi managed to shoot down 9 of the 10 suns, leaving only one behind. As a result of his courageous deed, Ho Yi was made the emperor. However, greed soon possessed him and he wanted to live an immortal life. So he ordered that the people make a magic pill for him to live the immortal life. The lovely and compassionate wife, Chang'e, decided to halt the sufferings of the people. Instead, she took the magic pill and flew to the moon. Till today, some Chinese believe that Chang'e still lives with her beloved rabbit in the moon. In his free time, Grandpa would bring the grandchildren to Katong Park. And then again, he would tell us stories of the days of old, especially those stories associated with the sea. It was very entertaining listening to Grandpa told those captivating stories. It was so magical. When I was in primary 1, I came in first in class and third in standard. The book presented to me was the evergreen book, Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Naturally, the person who was very happy was my grandfather. One day, he was walking along the market. Grandpa took out a coin and then he bought that box of colored pencils from me. He told me, "Grandson, that was the only thing I can afford, to buy you the box of colored pencils." And he admonished me to live a meaningful and noteworthy life. Grandpa passed at the untimely age of 54 years old. At that time, I was performing my prefectorial duties, it being the school speech day. Grandpa, I was told, refused to close his eyes and was still waiting for his grandson, his eldest grandson. Sadly and unfortunately, I was still in school, and so I could not bid him farewell and be with him for his final moment. Grandpa's demise left a big vacuum and void in my life. Years on later, when I had to bear the constant beatings of my temperamental mother, Grandpa was not there to shield me. Result of his passing, I also missed him so much, because he was not only a kind grandpa, but he was the protector. Thank you, Grandpa. Although I spent only 8.5 years of my life with you, I thank you for your care, your concern, and love for me. Thank you.